To make money, and it's this costly phone scam. So, this lady is warning other parents about this costly phone scam. They don't call it the bank of mom and dad for nothing, and as parents, we're used to our kids constantly asking us for extra pocket money. But when Leslie Nuta's daughter messaged her for help paying off a bill, she instantly knew something wasn't right. Speaking to Edinburgh Live, the pupil support worker said was suspicious because her daughter doesn't normally speak to her on WhatsApp. Look, here's the thing. If anyone were to ever try to reach out to you on WhatsApp, red flag right there, okay? That is basically like scam, right? Like if you go to any YouTube comment section or really any comment section and you see hey, contact me here at WhatsApp blah 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 blah, you know that's pretty much a scam. They're going to try to get money from you. They're going to try to get cryptocurrency from you. They're going to try to get money out of you some way, shape, or form. So she said, I kind of knew straight away it wasn't either of my kids because it's not the way they chat to me. We usually use Messenger as well, never WhatsApp. The message read, Hi mom, can you save my new number? My old phone broken. You can ring and text me on this one question mark. Describing how they had a lot of stress in their head at the minute. The scammer, posing as Leslie's daughter, asked for help paying a bill that had supposedly taken her by surprise. They claimed they couldn't pay the urgent $1,500 bill as her online banking wouldn't register her new number for at least 48 hours. Naturally, Leslie called her daughter straight away and she confirmed she hadn't sent the WhatsApp messages. But rather than ignoring the messages, Leslie thought she'd have some fun with the scammer. I already love this lady. The mom replied, I can give you the $43.60 if you tell me your middle name. I'll give you the rest. She added, I got angry and just decided to call them out. I know I could have called them all sorts of names, but what's the point? They could just move on to the next victim. Nasty people scamming innocent people. The mom has since reported the incident to the police and hopes that sharing her experience will prevent others falling victim to similar scams. And of course, this story originally appeared on The Sun, blah, 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 blah. So here's the thing. Anytime someone ends up contacting you randomly, like, hey, your extended warranty has expired. Hey, we're a solar company and we have your information. Hey, blah, 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 kind of stuff, right? Or like, hey, guess what? The FBI is coming after you right here and right now if you don't send us your social security number, your phone number, and your birthday, kind of thing, right? Like, no. Be very careful because it is so easy for people to scam you out of your hard earned money right now. And I do not want anyone to end up falling through that because the people who are typically most likely to be a victim of this are the elderly, people who are extremely stressed out in a very specific time frame, and also the young, right? Because they could intimidate the young, they could trick the old, and if you're extremely stressed out, you're not thinking clearly. So let me give you an example as to something that I saw a while ago. So there was a video where this Uber driver picked up this person and he was just taking this guy to his destination. And out of nowhere, this guy's passenger, this Uber driver's passenger, got a phone call from the IRS, right? And so during this phone call, this guy started to freak out more and more and more, right? Getting really irate, getting really scared, sweating profusely, all that kind of stuff, right? Like this guy was like freaking out. And the Uber driver was like, hey, what's going on? Is everything okay? Right? The Uber driver was really worried. And the Uber driver could end up hearing some of the conversation, but didn't really get the whole picture. And so the phone call ended, right? And the passenger is like spazzing out. He's like depressed. He's like, hey man, like, is it normal for like the IRS to like call someone like this? Right? It's like I just paid the IRS like $36,000 or something like that in Bitcoin, right? And the guy was like, "What? What did you just do?" Right? Because the Uber driver basically told him like, "Dude, the IRS doesn't call people like this. The IRS doesn't accept payments in Bitcoin." Right? And this was like, I don't know how long ago, but it was a while ago. And so he was like, "Dude, you just got scammed." And the guy's like, crying. He's like, "That's all my money that I basically had." And he basically lost it all. There was no way that he's going to get that money back, right? And the guy was telling him this, like, "Hey, man, you're not going to be able to get that money back. You just got scammed out of that money, right? Like, what are you thinking, right? Like, the IRS isn't going to do this to you." And this is the thing: the guy was like in a mental state where he was basically a prime target to getting victimized in this type of thing. Like the scammers just caught him at the right moment to where his like mental emotional state was just that prime to be taken advantage of, right? So it doesn't matter how smart you are, it doesn't matter how strong-willed you are. If someone catches you just at the right time, you can be scammed. That's why you gotta be really careful, right? And I know a lot of people who might end up like stumbling upon this being like, "Oh no, I'm not going to get scammed. I'm never going to get scammed." No one falls for those Nigerian prince scams and all that kind of stuff, right? But here's the thing: people fall for these scams obviously because these scammers keep doing it, right? It is still profitable for them to be doing this stuff, so they're going to keep on doing it, right? And it doesn't take much for someone to end up getting scammed or something like this. So just be very careful. Like, let me just use this as an example, right? Like, if you're a parent, right, and you get a phone call saying like, "Hey, you're like, this is like a call from so and so jail cell or so and so like prison cell," right? And they use your kid's name, you're going to spaz out immediately. You're going to be emotional, and you're probably going to be willing to just drop any amount of money to try to save your kid, right? No matter how strong-willed you are, if they catch you just at the right time, you could probably fall for that, right? Or if you're someone who has like an idol or like a influencer that you really like or a celebrity that you really like that you really look up to, and they end up basically releasing some sort of thing saying like, "Hey, you donate Bitcoin to this address and I'll double it," like the whole Twitter scam thing, you might be tempted to do that because like, "Oh, this is like a high profile figure, they have a blue check, oh, I'm just going to trust them with this money." Some people fell for that. Not just some, a lot of people fell for that and lost a lot of money. So that's something that you really got to understand. Just be careful in terms of these scams, right? Be very, very careful. And probably one of the worst victims, or like probably the easiest victims, I should say, are actually lonely guys trying to find a date, right? If you're a lonely guy and you're trying to find a date on like whatever those like dating apps, whatever, right? There's probably going to be some bots, and those bots are going to try to steal your money, right? Same thing with the whole WhatsApp thing, same thing with the comment sections of any social media platform. Like these things are going to come after you and convince you to just give them your money, right? So just be very careful. If you want to learn how to get out of debt, feel free to go to 40 Bucks to get out of debt. Or if you got a story, like a personal story or a story that you've heard about like a phone call scam or like a WhatsApp scam, feel free to submit your story at 40inbox.com. You could literally like submit personal finance stories on there and we'll release that as well. But it's crazy when you really think about it.